Namaste, and welcome to day 7 of Navaratri, the 9 nights of Mother Divine. And this is also our night to honor at this point, this is the 9th month. So there are traditionally 7 Matrika goddesses. And then depending on local and regional traditions, that 8th goddess can be Narashimi, whom we honored last month. Tonight, we're going to honor Maha Durga, the remover of difficulties. And I invite everyone to say hello using the chat function. I already see that Deborah is joining us. Namaste. Glad you could join us this evening. Before we begin, I'd like to make some announcements. So this coming Tuesday at 7:30, we'll have and then a week from today, next Friday, that's the 30th of October, we're going to do a very special puja. And that puja will be to the 10th of the Maha, that is the great wisdom goddesses, Kamala. And you probably notice that name is very familiar. For the first time in our history, we have the nominee for vice president, a major ticket, who is named after a Hindu deity. Ma Kamala is a form of Ma Lakshmi. Specifically, she is Kali in the form of Ma Lakshmi. And so I thought it to be very appropriate that we honor this form of the Divine Mother with the intention of the most positive outcomes. So that's what's coming up for the rest of this month. So to give us an introduction to Ma Durga, I'm going to read part of the 2nd chapter of the Devi Mahatmya. This is the scripture that I've been sharing chapters from during our noon pujas during Navaratri. And this will explain one of the key legends as to the origin of Ma Durga and her many functions. Jai Ma. Once a great war occurred between the gods with Indra on one side and Mahishasura, the buffalo demon, the great ego, on the other for 100 years. The mighty Asuras, which is the name for demons, easily defeated the army of the gods, and soon their monarch Mahishasura became chief of the gods. The gods set Brahma in the front and repaired to a place where Shiva and Vishnu were seated together. The gods narrated their predicament to them, Mahishasura's misdeeds, and how they were driven out of heaven. They recalled how the powers of Surya, Agni, Vayu, Chandra, Yama, Varuna, and the other Vedic gods had been usurped by him, and how they were forced to wander about the earth like ordinary mortals. We have demon, they prayed. Shiva and Vishnu were incensed upon hearing this. As the wearer of the Sudarsana disc, Vishnu became infuriated. A great luster came on his face. The same happened with Brahma, Shiva, and the other gods like Indra. All of these arcs became closer, and incandescent light formed in the center. Since it burst forth like a mountain of conflagration, The skies appeared as if they were enkindled. The signal fire that came into being from their bodies of the gods transformed into a woman, her opulence encompassing the three worlds. The light that emitted from Shiva took the shape of her face. From Yamas sprouted the hair, and from Vishnu the shoulders. From Buddha, that is Venus's iridescence, emerged the breasts. From Chandra, the moon, the glow of the waist. From Varuna, the calves. From Earth's, the haunches. From Brahma's, the feet. From Surya, the sun, the toes. From Vasu's, the fingers. From Kubera, the nose. From Pajupati, the teeth. From Agni, the three eyes. From Sandhya, the eyebrows. And from Vayu, the ears took shape. The remaining parts of her body came into sight from the light of all the other gods. Then the wearer of the Pinaka bow, Lord Shiva, devised a trident from his own and presented it to her. Vishnu formulated a disc from his disc and gifted it to her. Similarly, Varuna created and gave the conch from his own. Agni, the fire god, gave a Shakti, a source of power. Vayu gave a bow and a quiver of arrows. Indra gave the Vajra weapon and a bell that was taken out of the out from his elephant's neck. Yama, the god of death, gave a rod that signified time. Samudra gave braiding. Prajupati gave a rosary of beads. Brahma gave a pitcher. Surya passed his rays into the pores of the skin. Kala, the god of time, gave a sword and shield. The milk sea gave a garland and clothes that would never become worn. A crest jewel, earrings, bangles, a crescent moon to decorate her forehead, ornaments of all arms, anklets, and invaluable necklaces, and precious rings for all of her fingers. Visvakarma presented her with pure braiding. Astras, magical weapons of various kinds, impenetrable armor, and unfading garlands in which to decorate her. The ocean gave here a well-formed, beautiful lotus. Mount Himalaya gave her a lion to serve as a vehicle, and many precious gemstones. The deity of wealth gave her a goblet filled with liquor. Lord of serpents gave her a garland of precious gems made to resemble snakes. And the other gods gifted her various jewels and weapons. Thus, they gave reverence to the goddess, expressed in her the satisfaction of letting her loud laughter reverberate in every direction, making everyone run for cover. As it echoed all around, the worlds quaked in an ecstasy of fear, and the sea waters rose, immersing the earth. The mountains trembled, the earth vibrated, and the gods hailed loudly, Jai Maha, to victory to the goddess, seated upon a lion. Jai Maha. And Raphael and Susan have joined us. Namaste. And namaste to everyone else who might be watching. So I have an image. Don't know how well you can see it, but this is a Nepalese image of Mahakali. And you notice that she's in the form of Durga with many ornaments and weapons, and she's seated upon a lion. And Kali and Durga are really aspects of the same great divine mother. So in our story, the gods were troubled. This great ego demon, the buffalo demon Mahishasura, had thrown the gods out of heaven, were demanding everyone's devotion and sacrifice. And so the gods came together and combined their energies, and Durga appeared. And then they gifted her with different instruments which were part of their representation. So, for example, Shiva's trident. And so this really shows that the individual deities are just emanations, just aspects of an even greater divine power, in this case, represented by the divine Mother Durga. And just as when we are troubled, we can call upon that divine mother within ourselves to help us, so did the gods. Jai Maha. So I invite everyone to find a nice, comfortable, seated position. It can be on the floor on cushions, can be in a chair. Make yourselves comfortable. Close your eyes for a moment. Breathe deeply. Let the breath remove the concerns of past and future so that we may rest in the present. Let our tensions and anxieties and worries be removed with the out-breath. And may the in-breath illuminate our awareness of that divine presence within ourselves. And I invite you to think of some aspect of your life that is ready at this time for transformation. As I said earlier in this Navaratri series, when the Divine Mother slays a demon, actually that energy is both liberated and transformed. So fears can be transformed into courage. Anxieties into confidence. Confusion into knowledge. Depression into the will of making a difference. Just find that one thing and acknowledge to yourself that in taking part in tonight's puja, your needs will be fulfilled. and you're taking an important step as to resolution. And as we prepare, there's some friends I'd like to remember tonight. A young couple in Nepal, Anish and Ramina, who are going to be married soon. Estelle, Suzanne and Jeffrey, AJ, Achala, Anoop and his family. And let's just remember our families, our partners, and those closest to us. I invite you now to bring the palms of your hands to your heart center, and we'll open our puja tonight by chanting Om 3 times. Inhale. Om Pavitra Pavitrova Sarvabhastam Gatopiva Yashmade Pandarikaksham Sabya Byanta Sushi. Make a camera adjustment here. There we go. Om Om Shuklam Bhararanam Vishnum Seshivanam Shatobhijam Prasanavanam Dayat Saba Vignopasantaye. Jai Ganesha.
Jai Ganesha.
Om Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshvara Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Sri Guruve Namah. Jai Guru.
Jai Guru.
Om Trayambakam Yajamae Sagandim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukam Bandhanan Mrityor Mukshiyamamrita. Om Namah Shivaya.
Om Namah Shivaya.
Om Savamangala Mangalye Shiva Svada Sadike Saranye Triambake Devi Naryane Namostute. Jai Mad Durga.
Jai Mad Durga.
Om So I'm going to read a dynam, a meditational verse that'll help us in visualizing Mad Durga and her presence. I'll read it first in in Sanskrit, then in English. Om Vidyad Damasama Prabham Mrigrabate Skandhastinam Bisanam Kanyabi Kadavadaketa Vilasad Hastabira Sevitam Asteris Chakra Gadase Ketya Visikam Chapam Gunam Tarjnim Bibranamana Latmikam Sahid Haram Durgam Trinitram Bhaje. We meditate upon the three-eyed goddess Durga, the reliever of difficulties. The luster of her beautiful body is like lightning. She sits upon the shoulders of a lion and appears very fierce. Many maidens holding the double-edged sword and shield in their hands are standing at readiness to serve her. She holds in her hands a discus, club, double-edged sword, shield, arrow, bow, net, and the mudra of connecting the thumb and pointer finger with the other three fingers extended upwards, indicating the granting of wisdom. Her intrinsic nature is as fire upon her head. She wears a moon as her crown. Jai Mad Durga.
Jai Mad Durga.
So in praise to the Divine Mother, I'm going to recite the Argala Stotram, which is the praise that unfastens the bolt. By unfastening the bolt, it is releasing those blockages that keep us from realizing her divine presence within ourselves. I invite those present to give flower petal offerings for each verse. I'm going to recite it in Sanskrit, and then after our mantra, when we're meditating quietly, I'll recite the hymn once again in English. Om Chandakai Namah. Om Jayanti Mangalakali, Bhadrakali Kapalini, Durga Shama Shiva Datri Svasvada Namostute. Jayatvam Devi Chamunde Jaya Bhutita Harani, Jaya Sarvagati Devi Kalaratri Namostute. Madhu Kataba Vidrave Vidatir Vadre Nama Rupam De Jayam De Yasho De Vishojahi Mahisashur Nirase Patanam Shakude Nama Rupam De Jayam De Yasho De Vishojahi Raktabija Vidvare Devi Chamunda Visanani Rupam De Jayam De Yasho De Vishojahi Subhasya Vanisumbhasya Drumrakasya Chamadani Arupam De Jayam De Yasho De Vishojahi Vandatang Hiyuge Devi Sarva Subhyagadayani Rupam De Jayam De Yasho De Vishojahi Achana Rupacharate Sarva Satru Vinashani Rupam De Jayam De Yasho De Vishojahi Natyaba Sarvabhaktya Chandike Dorapaye Rupam De Jayam De Yasho De Vishojahi Subhadbhyo Bhaktapodavam Tvam Chandike Vinad Dakshani Avrupam De Jayam De Yasho De Vishojahi Chandike Satatamye Tvama Chandatya Bhaktati Tarakta Rupam De Jayam De Yasho De Vishojahi Devi Sabhagamabhyam Dema Paranam Shukam Arupam De Jayam De Yasho De Vishojahi Vidye Vasatam Nasyam Vide Balamuktakaya Rupam De Jayam De Yasho De Vishojahi Vide Devi Kalyanam Vide Paranam Sriyam Arupam De Jayam De Yasho De Vishojahi Samashura Surat Nama Nirgasta Krane Ambika Rupam De Jayam De Yasho De Vishojahi Vidyanam Yasatam Vandam Lakshmi Vandatam Janam Kuru Rupam De Jayam De Yasho De Vishojahi Prachandaya Darbaknaya Chandike Pantaya Me Rupam De Jayam De Yasho De Vishojahi Chatobhuje Chatovatra Samstute Parameshvari Rupam De Jayam De Yasho De Vishojahi Kristana Samstute Devi Savad Bhaksha Sam Ambike Rupam De Jayam De Yasho De Vishojahi Himchalan Sanat Nata Samstute Parameshvari Rupam De Jayam De Yasho De Vishojahi Indranipate Sabhava Pajate Parameshvari Rupam De Jayam De Yasho De Vishojahi Devi Prachandan Dordanda Dayate Darpaviza Vinashani Rupam De Jayam De Yasho De Vishojahi Devi Bhaksha Janodamanda Nandai Ambika Rupam De Jayam De Yasho De Vishojahi Paranam Moranam De Padavrita Nasasaniyam Taranim Durga Samsara Sarangasya Kalodbhavam Idyam Stotram Pativa Tumala Stotram Patennara Satu Sata Sat Amkai Varanokti Samaridam Om Jai Mad Durga Jai Mad Durga Jai Mad Durga Jai Ma. I invite you now to join me in chanting the mantra Om Dum Durgaye Namaha. 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 Om Dum Durgaye Namah. 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 For healing, for guidance, for protection, for resolution, for understanding, for transformation, for ourselves, for those closest to us, and for all humanity. Jai Ma Durga.
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 So I invite you now to close your eyes, breathe deeply, and listen again to the words of our hymn, the Argala Stotram, and let them carry your awareness and bring to your awareness what is right for this time. Jai Ma.
Jai Ma.
Jai Ma.
Jai Ma.
Jai Ma. Om, she who conquers over all auspicious, the remover of darkness, the excellent one beyond time, the bearer of skulls of impure thought, the reliever of difficulties, loving forgiveness, supporter of the universe, oblations of I am one with God, oblations of ancestral praise. To you we bow. Jema. Conqueror, O goddess of slayer of passion and anger, conqueror, reliever of the troubles of all existence, conqueror, O goddess who pervades this all, the dark night of egotism, we bow to you. To you who defeated too much and too little, giver of the blessings to the creative capacity, we bow. Give the form, give the victory, give the glory, kill the enemies. To you who cause the destruction of the great ego, giver of happiness to devotees, we bow. Give the form, give the victory, give the glory, kill the enemies. To you who slew the seed of desire, O goddess, destroyer of passion and anger, give the form, give the victory, give the glory, kill the enemies. Slayer of self-conceit and self-deprecation and sinful eyes, give the form, give the victory, give the glory, kill the enemies. All revere your lotus feet, O goddess, giver of all that is beautiful. Give the form, give the victory, give the glory, kill the enemies. You of unthinkable form and activity, destroyer of all opposition, give the form, give the victory, give the glory, kill the enemies. For those who bow to you with devotion, you remove all distress. Give the form, give the victory, give the glory, kill the enemies. For those who praise you with full devotion, O you who tears apart thought, you destroy all maladies. Give the form, give the victory, give the glory, kill the enemies. O goddess who tears apart thought, for those who constantly worship you with devotion, give the form, give the victory, give the glory, kill the enemies. O beauty, freedom from disease, give us supreme happiness. Give the form, give the victory, give the glory, kill the enemies. Grant the destruction of all that is destructive. Grant increase in strength. Give the form, give the victory, give the glory, kill the enemies. O goddess, grant welfare, grant supreme prosperity. Give the form, give the victory, give the glory, kill the enemies. O mother of the universe, whose feet are rubbed by the crest jewels of the gods and enemies alike, give the form, give the victory, give the glory, kill the enemies. Make us endowed with knowledge, endowed with welfare, endowed with true wealth. Give the form, give the victory, give the glory, kill the enemies. You who destroy the great egotism of thought, you who tear apart thought, to us who bow to you, give the form, give the victory, give the glory, kill the enemies. The four-faced creative capacity, Brahma, sings the praise of the four-armed energy of the Supreme Sovereign. Give the form, give the victory, give the glory, kill the enemies. O Goddess, O Mother of the Universe, your praise is always sung by the doer of all. Give the form, give the victory, give the glory, kill the enemies. The Lord of the daughter of the Himalayas, Shiva, sings the praise of the energy of the Supreme Sovereign. Give the form, give the victory, give the glory, kill the enemies. The husband of the energy of the rule of pure, Indra, worships the energy of the Supreme Sovereign with pure feeling. Give the form, give the victory, give the glory, kill the enemies. O Goddess, with your great staff of discipline, you destroy the egotism of thought. Give the form, give the victory, give the glory, kill the enemies. O Goddess, Mother of the Universe, to the people who are devoted to you, you give inexpressible peace and delight. Give the form, give the victory, give the glory, kill the enemies. Give us partners in harmony with our minds, who follow the changes of the mind and who can lead a family of noble birth across the difficulties of the ocean of objects and their relationships. After receiving this hymn of praise, one should recite the great hymn of praise of the number which is 700 verses, and he or she shall attain supreme perfection. Give the form, give the victory, give the glory, kill the enemies. Jema.
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 Jai Maha.
Jai Maha.
Jai Maha. I invite you now to take a deep and clearing breath. Become aware of your surroundings again. The sounds of the room, the sounds of my voice, sensation of your body seated, moving your fingers and toes, arms and legs, and your body in general, maybe stretching a little, slowly opening your eyes, bringing the palms of your hands together at your heart center. Om Sarva Mangala Mangalye Shiva Svada Sadike Saranye Triambake Devi Naryane Namostute. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Asatoma Sadgamaya Tamashoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityoma Amritagamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Sana Vavatu Sana Bunaktu Saviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu Ma Vidvidyavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Tat Sat Om. Jai Ganesha.
Jai Ganesha.
Jai Guru.
Jai Guru.
Om Namah Shivaya.
Om Namah Shivaya.
Jai Mad Durga.
Jai Mad Durga.
Jai Mata Di.
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 Jai Ma.
Jai Ma.
Jai Ma.
Jai Ma.
Jai Ma.
Jai Ma.
Namaste.
Namaste.
And thank you so much for joining us this evening. Have a wonderful night and the rest of the Navaratri season. I want to remind everyone to also join us at noon for our continued pujas and satsangs and meditations as we continue with the Devi Maya. Again, thank you. Jai Ma. Blessings always. And good night.